कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्. Bhagavad Gita has been told. It is a discourse between Bhagavan Sri Krishna. In the ephemeral sense, phenomenal sense, he was a king. But those who knew him closely, at a higher level, they knew him to be a divine being. And very few people who are still at a higher plane of understanding, they knew him to be the Supreme Lord. So here, Sri Krishna himself, as the Supreme Consciousness, is giving advice to Arjuna, the fittest person who can receive that message, and then give it further, spread it further among the masses so that nobody is ignorant, nobody is deprived of this knowledge. But unfortunately even now, in spite of a lot of effort to propagate the message of Bhagavad Gita in different ways, probably in the modern period, historical period, it started with Shankaracharya writing a bhashya, explanation to Bhagavad Gita. So that 700 slokas chosen from Vishnu Purva 25 to 43 chapters from Mahabharata, which is a vast sea of slokas, more than 1 lakh slokas. So those 700 slokas, they were taken note of by the highest people of highest intellect, biggest intellectuals of that time. It came to their notice, the message, the eternal message. That message is not given by Sri Krishna. He himself said there is a parampara. Means there is a tradition of his conveying this message from the Guru to the disciple. It is called Guru Parampara. So in that tradition, he is mentioning that tradition also. So that knowledge, the eternal knowledge, the Sanatana Dharma, is expressed again in Bhagavad Gita with the Sri Krishna in the Supreme Consciousness level. That is the difference. Sri Krishna himself was playing many roles, but here in the Bhagavad Gita, he is at the Supreme level. He is giving that message from that level. This we have to very clearly understand. So that by studying Bhagavad Gita, we start with the sloka, then some life lessons we draw, we transform ourselves, then the highest ambition a human being can have, that I will be a divine, I was born as a human being and I will not die as a human being. I will be a divine, I will not die. I will attain moksha, the eternal life in bliss that I attain. So the 6th chapter is important in the sense that it gives us a ready-made method to do in our daily life, what to do in our daily life so that we progress very fast. It is called evolution actually. Like from some microsome we have evolved by natural selection into this human life. Similarly, we have to evolve from here at a much faster pace. If we let that nature do it for us, then it might take many yuvas and kalpas for us to attain that level. You may not attain at all. You will be just going around this circus wheel of life and death. Cycle of life and death. Punaravi jananam, punaravi maranam, punaravi janani jagaresha. That will just go on. Nature, it doesn't get tired. It can go on. This cycle can go on forever. Eternity. Prakriti Purusha Deva Vidyanadi Upavati. Nature never gets tired. It is ever new. Whatever was there yesterday, or last hour, or last minute, that will not repeat. In the whole cosmic cycle, that is not going to come back again. It will just, and new things are. So it is ever new and ever working. Prakarshena kriyadeti prakriti. With the inexhaustible energy, it is working. So we will be just going around in that cycle without realizing our potential. So we have to do this. That's why this eternal message of Bhagavad Gita is important for all of us in our life. We have to do this. What to do? That Krishna is saying in practical lesson, karma yoga. Without expecting fruit of action, you concentrate on the action. Fruit will come. System is there. If we are at the level, Padartha Bodha, then we will be concerned about what is happening, the symptoms of events in the nature cycle. Those who are jnanis, the realized ones, wise ones, they will know that the moment we sleep, everything vanishes. When we wake up, everything comes again. From where does it come? Where does it go? They know this Maya, this jugglery, this game that is going on. But those who don't know, they will expect that this will happen. A sequence is there for them, an order of things is there. This will happen after this will happen after this. Actually, there is no happen. But we are trained to think like that. That one thing follows another. So even if we are at that level, still Bhagavad Gita teaches us that without looking at the karma phala, if you concentrate on the karma itself and how to do it perfectly, all these things later, then the phala will also will be equally perfect, isn't it? One student asked me, how can I be first in my class? I know how many students are there whom you think they are ahead of you. There are 7 or 8 students. That's a good thing. And I am the fellow thinking of coming first. So that's a good aspiration. Then I asked him, why can't you come first? Have you thought about your weaknesses? What is happening? They are also studying in the same class or the same age group. You don't consider yourself to be inferior in any way. So what is wrong? Why are they ahead of you? Then he started telling, because what is there in his mind, unless it goes out, whatever I have to say, that is not going. So I asked like that, what are his difficulties? And after that, in a very simple manner I told him, I said, why don't you just concentrate on your study instead of thinking of defeating others? Just concentrate on your study. Whatever marks, whatever comes from that, enjoy that. And later on, he told me that I have come first many times afterwards. So, thinking of the result, it draws your energy towards that imagination. Many of the worries that we suffer in life, they are imaginary. They are there in your brain. It is not there in the world. But you suffer in the real life. What do you call real life? Waking stage. Isn't it? So, for your own imaginary things, we suffer. That is You can say it is ignorance, foolishness. So how to get rid of that? All these things, very practical, are being taught by the Lord in Bhagavad Gita. So that is Karma Yoga and other things also. There are many factors looking after you. You are not on your own. Sun and earth are looking after you, aren't they? If they don't provide you the proper situation, you can't be alive. That is an absolute truth of this universe. Universe is looking after you. That's why you are alive. So, many factors are there. Cosmic factors, divine factors are there. Many other factors are there which are supportive. We lose life. And many, even young ones commit suicide. They think there is, I have no hope. They forget that everything is so suitable. Only 1 or 2% things may be going wrong. That also will be corrected in due course. They don't give that opportunity. They don't wait for that. They have no strength left. So Bhagavad Gita will guide you. One girl wrote to a Swamiji in Trishur Ramakrishna Ashram. Swamiji, this is my last letter to you. I am going to commit suicide. So Swamiji immediately sent somebody, brought that girl to the ashram and talked to her and then told, just read Ramayana, focusing on Sita. Ramayana Mahakavyam Sitayam Charitam Mahat. Ramayana is the story of Sita. So, focusing on Sita, read that. She read and then later on she told Swamiji, I am not going to commit suicide. If Sita had such willpower and strength to survive, and she knew that if I remain here, Ravana will be eliminated, otherwise not. So she stuck there. Otherwise, I was saying, Mother, I can carry you back to Rama. But she is, I will stay here so that Ravana is also destroyed. That's why Ramayana happened because of Sita. Otherwise, Rama's journey would have ended with meeting Bali and he would have gone back. Nobody would have read about that. There is also Ravana Yuddha. So what I am saying is, these books, they guide you in life. At every turn of your life, they will be the guiding light. Like your parents may not be there, your friends may not be there, your teachers may not be there. It may be dark all around, but that is all falsehood. We have to be the light. That is the... And how to be the light? Bhagavad Gita. No other book is there explaining so well how we can become the light. Atmadevo Bhava. Ye light. I was saying the mantra, Andar Jyotir, Bahir Jyoti, Pratyek Jyoti, Parat Para Jyoti, Jyoti, Param Jyoti, Atma Jyoti, Shivosmya. Atma Jyoti, Param Jyoti, Jyoti, Chaktu Sapashati. Sabhaya Vyandara Jyoti, Tat Jyoti, Shivosmya. So, the 6th chapter tells you what are the practices that we can do practically in our life. Now, what we can do for ourselves, for rising up in the divine path. Life is a travel on the divine path, don't forget that. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Have your foot firmly be established in Dharma during the educational period. Do not deviate from Dharma. Satyam Vada, Dharmam Jara. That is the Dikshanta advice, last convocational address by the Guru, Acharya to the students. Satyam Vada, Dharmam Jara. Madhuradevo Bhava, Vidrudevo Bhava, Acharya Devo Bhava, Aditi Devo Bhava. Whenever you have doubt about what to do or how to treat people, just watch those great people who are with well established in dharma and good in their conduct, how they do in that situation, do like that, how they treat others, treat others like that. Very practical lessons. Just read it in Taittiriya Upanishad, Shiksha 20. So, here also, we establish in dharma and then artha kama will be enjoyable. Otherwise there will be cause of trouble, diseases, fights, quarrels, wars. All evil come from artha and kama. Whenever there is a crime, police go, how this happens, whether it is for wealth or whether it is for some other desire, like that. So, all arthakamas are all, the root of evil. If there is no dharma in the mind, in the thinking pattern, thought pattern. So, artha, dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Then go for moksha directly, like a Rama Bana, directly aiming to the target. Do not miss the target. In the life journey, be a Rama Bana, directly going to the moksha. You can do it. Now, what are the difficulties? So, Krishna says, Atma Sanyama Yoga, 6th chapter. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Anashrita Karma Phalam Karyam Karma Karodiyam Sa Sannyasi Cha Yogi Cha Namiragnirna Cha Kriya Yam Sanyasamiti Prahu Tam Yogam Tam Vidhi Pandava Nahyasanyasta Sankalpo Yogi Bhavati Kaschana Arurukher Muner Yogam Dharmakaranam Uchyate Yogarudasya tasyaiva shamakaranam uchyate yada hi nendriyarteshu karmashu anusajyate sarva sankalpa sannyasi yogarudastadochyate na karmasu anusajyate. This has been explained in the 3rd chapter also, and before that in the 2nd chapter. Prakarana it is called. Some contexts are there. Between Adhyaya, in Adhyaya only some contexts are there. They are called Prakarana. In Vidhapragya Prakarana, this has been explained. How the censor should be withdrawn. So, all those are summed up here in these 4 slokas. So, what does the Lord say? There are 2 outlooks. One is the objective. Other is the subjective. The Indian philosophical way is subjective, not objective. They are saying, and we are experiencing also, this is the eternal path, Sanatana Patra. That objective is due to the subjective. It is not otherwise. Whatever our life is in the so-called objective sphere or land, that is due to the subjective side. That's why all are having a different life. Otherwise it would have been the same. The situations are the same. In the very same situation, in the very same house, in the very same room, classroom, we all are living, experiencing different situations. Is it not? Even here, it is there. Swami is saying continuously, we are listening, but we are hearing different things, not the same thing. So, basically, the world is actually subjective, not objective. Objective world has limitation, but subjective is a vast sphere. From individual consciousness to the universal consciousness, that journey is possible only through the subjective path. So, Lord has said that without depending on the karma, concentrate on the karma, and also, like Swami Ranganathan used to say, what change the karma induces in you? Focus on that. You know the results of karma, but you don't know the result of karma on you. That also has to be observed. So, whoever, without depending upon the karma bhala, This is my duty, karyam karma. With that understanding, continues to work. He is a sannyasi and he is a yogi. Karma yogi and a jnana yogi. Sannyasi is jnana yogi and karma yogi. So they are, he is both. Not those who have given up Agnihotra, like sannyasi, somebody becomes, he gives up Agnihotra and other karma kanda. They don't participate. We don't participate. So, that is not the method for sannyasa, he says. Giving up karma phala is the method. And second is, whatever is the goal of sannyasa, that is the same goal of karma yoga. It is the same goal. They are not different. Different attitudes are there. Some are a little withdrawn, jnana yoga, and the intellectual type, jnana yoga is better for them. And those who are energetic and a planning type, for them karma yoga is better. Arurukshar Munera yoga. Those who want to be a good yogi, karma yogi, they should do karma. They should be active. They should not move away from the path of activity. But once established in yoga, once they are by selfless service to the others, without any selfishness, they continue work. So that selflessness will drive them to the Ishvara level. They will be very concerned about the welfare of others. That is. So to that level, to that energy level and consciousness level, they reach. Both have to evolve. Unless energy changes, consciousness cannot reach there. Unless consciousness is having the awareness of divinity, energy will not change. Both of them work in tandem, in unison. Both of them work together to take a person to the divine realm. So they have to calm down. Their outer activity will stop, but they are Mahakartas. Their inner sankalpa and inner feelings, that will result in a huge release of energy in the world. That is how the world changes. Suddenly everything changes. Up to 1950 there were huge colonies. World was a place of colonies of some West European nations. But after 1950 everything changed. There were many democratic countries, communist countries, this, that, and so it is the change in this intellectual level which results in this huge wave of changes. So they are Mahakartas and they are Mahabhoktas. They feel there should be a huge welfare measure and there happens to be huge welfare measures in the world. They have to just feel it and everything will start. So they are Mahakartas and Mahabhoktas. Even though they apparently are doing nothing. And then they don't want anything, so yadahi devdi after their senses do not stick to the sense object. It's sticking, asakti, attachment. That is the poison in perception of sense organs. Sense organs are 5, these are basic things. So, we hear, we listen, we see, we smell, we touch, we taste. But the attachment to some and disdain or dislike, interest for some, that is the poison. That is the evil, that is the dosha. That is the cause of trouble. How that comes, nobody knows. Nobody knows. How did I, why do I dislike that? I dislike that because I don't like it. That is the explanation. Some objective analysis they can't. They don't have that level of awareness for that. Extra awareness is required to study one's own functioning. So that is not there, that can. So when you are calming down yourself, sarva sankalpa sannyasi, the resolve should not be, I attain that, I will attain this, I will be this, I will be that. There is no need. If you are on the proper course, just wait, result will come. So, sarva sankalpa sannyasi yoga rulas tabodhare. It is not that they will not be working, they will be best examples in the world, in the society and the world. They are not leaving working, but they are not attached to work also. That way they are working. So, yoga rulas tabodhare. He is established in yoga. Then, when we say withdraw or go out, who is doing that? It is a sense organ. They are having the desire or the tendency of seeking their respective objects, isn't it? So, somebody who is not interested or feeling sleepy, they withdraw naturally. They don't know how they withdraw, but they withdraw naturally. I do not see, I do not pay attention. I do not hear, I was sleeping. So that withdrawal happens naturally. But if it is done with awareness, it is meditation. So sleep is an interesting phenomenon. Very interesting phenomenon. How it happens? Scientists what they say? I saw everything, I saw. Only this, I have a book on sleep. They know only this much. They have named it, technical names have sleep. Otherwise they don't know what is happening. Where do all the sense organs and mind, how do they rest? How do they feel rested? How do they feel energetic? How do they feel even happy? Nobody knows. So, when it is done with awareness, it is called yoga, meditation. So, Lord says, in next 5 and 6, we have to have an interest in ourselves. We should be interested in our own upliftment. Upliftment in the subjective sense, not in the material conditions. That huge motivational classes are going on for material upliftment, isn't it? Various standards are set. But here, the subjective upliftment is necessary. Unless you do it, you will not have peace. So, Lord says, Uddare Atmanam Atmanam Avasadaye Atmaiva Atmano Bandhu Atmaiva Ripuratmanam. See, one can be one's own enemy and one can be one's own friend. Those who have this sense and sensibility for subjective upliftment, antakarana, uddharana, upliftment of the inner self, they are their own friends, well-wishers. Otherwise, you are your own enemy, because human birth has been specifically given for only human beings can do it. Monkey was 10,000 years before he was living like that only. But the material conditions, there are material upliftment, but spiritual upliftment is lacking. And Bandhuratma Atmanastasya Yenatmaivatmana Jita Anatmanastu Shatrutve Vastved Atmai Sparthed Atmaiva Shatruva. Who is a friend? He is a friend to himself means herself, to one's own self, who can control their own mind. The mind and the self, they know that it should be self-controlled. And those who do not have this self-control, they are their own enemies. They are behaving like their own enemies. They don't need any other enemy than an uncontrolled mind. They don't need any other enemy. Is like putting a snake in your pocket. If the mind is uncontrolled, you have not interest in the workings of the mind, your relatives or parents will take you to a psychiatrist. Many of us need psychiatrist, but we are not aware of that even. We undergo depression, sorrow, this, that, unnecessarily. But don't go to a psychiatrist, because what the medicines they, at least don't take the medicines they give. It will weaken you even more. You will be addicted to that medicine. Take to meditation. Yidātmana prashantasya paramatma samahita jīdoshna sukha dukkeshu tadāmānāpamānayo jnana vijnana triptātma bhūtasto vidyatendriya yukta ityuchyate yogi samāra loṭṭāśma kāñjana suhuran mitranudāsi mitrāyudāsīna madhyastadveshabandhushu sadhushvabījavāveshu samābuddhirvisichyate. So, this is the life of a yogi. How a yogi is, that is a question. So, this is an allurement, an attraction, an endurement, that you should be a yogi. See, at such a high level your life can be. Yidātmana prashantasya. He has full control over his mind. Jagadjit, manajite to jagadjit. If you win over your mind, you have won over the world. Yidātmana prashantasya, and calm, a calm nature, demeanor. Paramatma samāhidaha. He knows that my consciousness is connected with God consciousness. It has not come for anywhere else. The Hiranyagarbha and the Veshti Bodha and the Samashti Bodha are the same. Here it is not Paramatma, even though it is mentioned as Paramatma. Paramatma's role as Hiranyagarbha is mentioned here, because it is a Karma Yoga Prasanga, it is not a Jnana Yoga Prasanga. So, it is Paramatma as Hiranyagarbha is mentioned here, Samashti Bodha and Veshti Bodha. These are the connections. How that can be connected? Paramatma samahita. My individual consciousness is a part of the God consciousness. This awareness should be there. It has not come from anywhere else. It is a reflection. Yat satyena jagat sarvam, yat prakashena bhandi yat, yad anandena nandandi. The light is reflected in my nervous system is my consciousness, and the light is from God consciousness, divine consciousness. It is not parameshti as such. It is not the supreme consciousness, but it is a divine consciousness as Hiranyagarbha. That is also equally good. Hiranyagarbha is not a lower category than supreme consciousness, but supreme consciousness is formless. Hiranyagarbha is the possibility, entire possibility in this creation. Every design that we see around us, that has been conceived in Hiranyagarbha. That becomes an actuality, reality later for the sense organ. So it is Hiranyagarbha. Both of us are Hiranyagarbha. Veshti and Samashti, both are Hiranyagarbha. So, Shidoshna Sukha Dukkeshu Tada Manavamanayo. The conditions in which they live doesn't affect them. They are very stable and even-minded in any situation. They are calm and composed. Tada Manavamanayo. If somebody is honoring or somebody insulting, it doesn't matter. He will not treat both of them equally. He is not a fool. But yeah, the inner condition is mentioned here. Isn't it? Then Jnana Vijnana Triptātma. He has enough knowledge and also the inner experiences, intuitional and other experiences. Kutastha. is very stable. Puta is anvil. In a blacksmith's workshop, if you have gone, there is an anvil on which he keeps all the iron in this implements and what is it called? Iron things. And he will beat them with a huge hammer. So, but it will not move. It will not be broken or anything. Nothing changes for it. It just remains like that only. And for generations, father, son and son to son also use the same anvil. So, Buddha it is called. So like that is Kutastha. He is so strong and without any mental disturbances. Vijita Indriya. He has won over his Indriya. Yukta Ittirchade Yogi. Yukta Ittirchade Yogi. He is called one who is established in yoga. And he is a yogi. Samalostasna. So in practices also he is a yogi because he is doing karma and aspiring to be a divine being. So he is a yogi. And he becomes established in yoga. By wise ones, they recognize him to be a fully established yogi. Samalottasna kanjana. And how he behaves for him, a clod of earth or gold, everything is same. So he behaves like that. He doesn't give any. But behaves like that means his attitude is like that. Clod of earth and gold do not have the same use. They have different uses. What gold does, clod of earth cannot. What clod of earth does, gold cannot. Can some seeds grow in a gold bar? No. That property only clod of earth can have. So we all know the importance. Each one is important in its own place. But he will be even-minded towards them. He will not be pleased if somebody gives gold. He will not be very sad if it turns out to be a clod of earth. Like Rama, one day in the evening he was all being prepared for coronation next day as Yuvaraja, and next day morning he has to go to forest with his wife also, and 14 years, not a small time also. But nothing affects him. Sampatavcha, Vivatavcha, Mahadam, Ekarupata. They are the same. Suhurmitran Udasina. Whether it is friend or enemy or a well-wisher. Suhur is a well-wisher, Mitra is a close by friend, and Udasina, Ari is enemy. So they are Udasina means they are not affected if a friend and a well-wisher comes, and they are not affected when an enemy comes out. Madhyastha Dvesha Bandhushu. Madhyastha means Deshya, those who are angry at you or are annoyed with you, or those who are loving. If they come near also, he is Madhyastha. Sadhu Shravicha Bhaveshu. Those who are very pious towards them also, and those who are sinners towards them also. They are even-minded. Samabuddhir Vishishyate. If we can have that level of Sthita Pragyata Samabuddhi, then that's a very beautiful term, Samabuddhi. So that is a very beautiful level of life also. And then how to attain this state? That is the question, real question. Yogi yujjita sadadam atmanam rahasistitaha ekaki yatadittatma virashira parigraha shuchau deshe pradishtapya sthiramasana mahatmanaha navyutritam nadinisham dailadina ujotaram. Practice. And constant practice. Constant practice is required. Patanjali says, Satu Dirghakala Nailendra Satkara Sevito Dridabhumi. How to be established? By Dirghakala, long-term practice. Nailendra, continuous practice. That is required, and with respect, Satkara Asevito. Means total observance of the rules also are required. Then they will be established in yoga. So here also yogi Jita Sasadam. Constant practice is needed. Atmanam Ragasita. Keep your secrets a little, keep your practice a little secret in the beginning. Do not go on flaunting your practices. Because these are very subtle things. Others, different energies may harm you if you initially disclose all your practices and other things to them. They will come into a challenging mood. Their mental energy will come into a challenging mood. Then that will harm you. So in the initial stages, the practices will be kept a little secret. Ekagi, stay alone. Yada Jittatma, Ekanta sadhana is necessary in the degree. Yada Jittatma, so take out some time, go to some place where nobody recognizes you, nobody will disturb you. Sit there and practice for 3-4 hours. Come back. Like that, continuously do it. And win over your mind. Nirashi Rakarigraha. Without any concern about what will happen to me, what is happening, I want that, I want this. No. We don't want anything from our practice. The practice itself is the benefit that we can derive from that practice. If I can do it, that itself is a great achievement. So, in the initial stages, the concentration should be on the practices. Don't read Ramakrishna Paramahamsa's life and say, oh, I have not become a Paramahamsa. How many days I have to do this sadhana? Don't do like that. That practice itself is sufficient for you. That is an achievement in itself. So, Nirashi Aparigraha, not even from your sadhana. Don't expect anything from your sadhana even. Then only you are a yogi. Otherwise, what yogi you are when you are expecting from the initial practice, return from an initial practice. You are not a yogi then. So, sit alone. It is said, Vane, Kone, Mane. The progress is like that. First in a secret, secluded place, Vane. Kone, then in the house, in some corner, and then Mane, inner practices start. That is the level of progress for a yogi, meditational life. Shuta Udeshe Pradishtabhya Stiramasanahamanaha Nakyutridam Navinijam Jailajinabujodaram, in a neat place. So that your mind is already very calm, not agitated. Like that, nothing to disturb you. Not even sound, bad songs and all this can carry away your mind. So that is also a weakness. Close your eyes. These earphones have an advantage. Close it. Don't listen to some music, but just for closing out the noise. Shujau Deshe Pratishtabhya. Here you put up your asana. Stiramasana. Use it daily. And it should be personal. Do not, some other people also practicing on the same asana, that is not the method. Not Yutridam, it should not be very high. In the initial stages, some swoon or something might happen, you will fall off. So it should not be very high. And should not be very low also, that some insects and others will crawl over it. That also should not happen. So it should not be very high, it should be very low. Jailajina Kushotara. Put a woolen, it is skin, hide, it is mentioned. Ajina. But here, just put a woolen square sheet, blanket, piece of blanket, then in the at the lowest level, it should be a mat, a grass mat. Over that, a woolen piece of cloth, and over that a cotton bead should be spread. That is the best place to sit and meditate. That's the best asana. Asana means a seat for meditation. So a small piece of grass mat, over that a piece of blanket, woolen blanket, over that a cotton cloth. Chailadina Pushottanam. Tatra ekagram mana kritva yadachittendriya kriya upavishyasane yunjan yogamatma vishuddhaye. For purity of mind, you have to practice meditation, sitting there, first by controlling the mind and chitta also. Chitta is memories. Chitta also. You are sitting calmly but remembering the previous thing. That comes naturally. When you try to calm the mind, memories will force their enter into the mind. So that will happen, but just observe those memories, they will calm down. Their whole energy will be lost. But if you start moving with them, then they will become good. They will agitate your mind. Somebody beat me 10 years before and we get agitated now. That person is not there, even is not there, there is no chance of recurring. Still we are agitated. So, Atma Vishuddhaye. For purity of mind, this practice will be done by withdrawing the mind. And the mind will be concentrated. How to concentrate the mind? So, some picture can be used, divine picture in the initial state, and then slowly just go, move around that picture from foot to on the left side, move up to head, then from the head to the toe again, like that. Rotate the mind. After some time, mind will become focused. Then you can focus on a spot also. Like that practice should be done. Dailadharavat means like a flow of oil, a single thought which is there, then it will be practice, meditation. So, Ubhavishyasana Yujjan Yoga Matma Vishuddhaya, what will your mind? Samangaya Shiro Grivam Dharayan Najalan Dhruvam Samrekshanaasigagram Swam Vishashta Dharayan Najalam Stira Samrekshanaasigagram Swam Vishashta Navalogayan Prashantatma Vigada Vir Brahmajari Vradestita Manasanyamyamatthitto Yukta Asidamatparaha. With a straight spine and the head also in the same level. Samam Kaya Shirogrivam. Body should be straight and the Griva, head and the neck all should be in a straight line. The spine should be straight, then everything will be straight. Dharayan Nadalam Stiraha. Be steady. Do not keep on moving. Do not think of condition of fan is slow. You will be fast. Get up. Do it. Don't like that. Sambreshya, look at the tip of your nose. That will help in here and there. Even if you hear some sound or something, don't look there. Don't get interested there. Be interested in your inner self. What is happening there? Prashantatma, be calm. The mind should be calm. Vigata bir, without any fear. Oh, what will happen? I have to go there. Somebody might be expecting me there. I could have gone there. These fears should not be there. They are all fears. Anxieties are fears. Brahmajari Vradestitaha. The mind should be focused on the Brahma, Parabrahman. Brahman has 2 stages. So Karya Brahman first means in the this Hiranyagarbha. So their mind can the higher cosmic influences on me. What are they? So the best practice is what I will do. I will sit. I will think this body is the meditational pose of Shiva. Shiva is sitting here. There is no me in this meditational pose. That feeling will help to achieve the next level. That it is a Shiva Linga, formless energy. That is a truth also. And next, it is the supreme consciousness, the light, happiness and joy. So in this way, the meditational practice progress from Sabija Savikalpa to Nirvija Nirvikalpa. But that will happen by itself. you start the practice. You don't need to be anxious about the result. Do the practice. Yukta asita matparaha. Here the devotional minded people can do that. They will think about God's leela, God's name. Repeat the name, do japa. All these are meditations that a light meditation is japa. Thinking about God's leelas only, that is japa. God's action, life events, that is also a japa. How God is governing, just thinking about that, that is also meditation. So, start from the Yunjannevam sadatmanam yogi niyadamanasa shantim nirvana varama matsatsanstam adhigacchati. So, such a yogi who is doing this practice for a long time, that is what Patanjali Maharshi says. Dirgha kala nirandara sevitva. Continuous, constant and long-term practice will take you there. So, yogi nira, when they have attained full self-control without any effort, mind is controlled naturally. They attain peace. Without mind control, there is no peace. Mind will not allow you to be, mind will not be peaceful. That means you are not. Shanti nirvana varama. They attain the state of nirvana. And means without any noise. Nirvana means no one is there. Yantravajo nivarsante aprabhya manasasa. That state they have reached. Matsastam adhigacchati. They are attaining my state. In the state I am, they are slowly attaining by this meditation. Udara wanted that for 6 months. I will not move from here unless I attain supreme consciousness. You may not have that level of resolve, but you can sit for first resolve to sit for 20 minutes. Then slowly increase it. On holidays or some free days, do it for 3 hours. Then you attain good level of practice. There should be progress, but that's what I am saying. And during yoga practice, some situations have to be there. Natyashnatastayo yogosti nachaikanta manachnata natadi swapnachilasya jagrato naivachatunam yuktahara vikarasya yuktacheshtasya karmasu yukta swapnavabodhasya yogo bhavati dukkha. Do not be extreme, do not be very relaxed. Do not relax your practice, do not be extreme. Go on a golden mean path. And during the yoga practice, do not eat much. Even the perception by senses is also like this is only. So do not be overactive, hyperactive. Natyashnadastu yogosti. Nachaikanda manasnada. Those who do not consume anything, they will also starve and they will be worried about their health. Their health condition will be severe. So do not do that also. Natadi swapnachilasya. Don't be too eager to sleep. People are very fond of sleeping. So that should not be. It should be maintained. Timetable, fixed timetable should be maintained. Swami Shivanji used to give a spiritual diary. Get up at 4 o'clock. How many hours you meditated? What all practices you did? How many hours for karma yoga? Like that. So spiritual diary should be maintained. So do not sleep much. Natadi swapnashila jagrato naivatarjana. Those who hyperactive and sleep only for 3-4 hours, they also do not become yogi. Yuktahara viharasya yuktacheshtasya karmasu. Those who are suitable for yoga, ask some expert. Take their advice and take suitable food, sattvic food. And if you eat too much masala and other things, then your mind will be naturally agitated. If you take prohibited things, then also your mind will be sinful. So, take a sattvic food. Yukta cheshtasya karmasu. Your actions also to be conducive to it. You can't be policing others and be yogi also. In the initial stages, during practice, later on it can be. Yukta cheshtasya karmasi. Yukta swapnava bodhasya. Waking and sleeping also should be controlled. Yoga bhavati dukkha. Their sorrows are eliminated by yoga. Yada vijiyatam chittam atmanyeva vadishtare nispriha sarvakamebhyo yukta ityuchyate tata yada divo nivadasto negade sopamamruta yogino yada chittasya yuchyado yogamatmana. So some words of encouragement. The Lord is saying, when the mind is so controlled and it is established in the self, Atman, Atma, the real Atman, not Jivatman. Real Atman, of which Jivatman or consciousness is a reflection. By seeing the reflection, we know the real sun is there or moon is there. Similarly, by knowing that I am conscious, it means it is coming with the light is there, coming from somewhere. Nispriha sarva kamebhyo yukta. Yukta ityuchyate. He will not desire for objects in the world. He knows that he or she knows, the practitioner knows that the objects are just created by our own perception, our own mental brain situation and the limitations of the senses. These things are not there in the real creation. They are just limitations of our senses and brain work. These things are in a different state, not as we see them. That even now the other science, the material sciences are also agreeing with this. That they are only floating atoms. They are not, no shapes and sizes are not there. These are all relative. Even if you move away 10 steps behind, you will see in a different color and different shape. They are so relative, isn't it? Is it not? If the light is less, you will see some other thing. You will see a rope and you will think it's a snake, it's a track. It's a rope actually. So it is so subjective and it is so relative, these things. So conditional. So they should not be given much importance. And like a flame of a lamp without any wind, where there is no wind, how steady it will be. Like that, the illumined mind also will be very steady. Yatro paramade tiktam niruddham yoga sevayam yatra devatmanatmanam vasyannatmani dushyati sukhamatyantikam yattat buddhigrahyamahitidriyam veti yatra natayvayam stitat chalati tattvadam. You might be feeling tired. Just sit straight and focus. Be calm, be kind. You will regain your energy. Then your body will not ache. So just try it now, how it is happening. And listen to me also, but listen, focus on that only, not other things. When the mind is rising above, being checked by practitioners, yoga practice, and it is rising above to the higher levels, it is the consciousness which is rising above through the mental strata. So, as the consciousness is rising, mind itself is inert, insentient. It is the consciousness which makes it look like sentient. So, it will, as the consciousness rises, the mind's quality changes. And when it reaches in its own self-realization, then it becomes bliss. It just becomes bliss, nothing else. Sukhamatyantikam yattat buddhigrahyamahit adindriyam. The intellect can understand it a little bit. Shakkara pravidvan prudhyasta tasra. Indra is the intellect. So it can understand a little bit. Yes, when the total control, self-control is there, then the ultimate happiness, joy, bliss is reached. The buddhi knows about it. And it is beyond the senses, adindriya, transcendental. Veti yatrana devayam stita chalati tattvada. When that is known, it becomes steady. It doesn't move. That is the sign. It becomes silent. Mind is totally silent without any word and thought. When that level is reached, that is the signal, that's the sign that you have reached. Yes, I have arrived. But you are not safe there. Yam labdhvata param labham manyadena adhikam tata yasmin stito anadik dukkhena guruna vivicharyate. After attaining that, nothing else will be a greater achievement. See, that is the goal of self-realization, is the goal of human birth. And after attaining that, even the biggest sorrow cannot deter you, pull you down to other states. Tam vidya dukkha sanyogam yogam yoga sanyidam. The soul, the Atman, which was bliss, forgot itself because it got attached into avidya, latched into avidya that I am this, aham, I am asmiti. It saw some shape and energy grew in the nature and it just got latched on to it, I am this. Then the cycle of birth and death and having a body and everything started. So it forgot itself and by seeing something else it thought I am that. That's why the sorrow, that state of ignorance is sorrow. Somebody says ignorance is bliss, but ignorance is bliss only for the ignorant. So viyogam yoga sanyidam. So by getting detached from that attachment, that is yoga. If you are detached from ignorance, you have attained yoga. Sadnishchayena yoktavyo, it should be surely done. Yoga nirvana chedasa. Human birth, human life is yogic practice in itself. Just for speeding it up, we have to do this practice. Yoga nirvana chedasa. Without being agitated, you have to do. Without looking at the result, without comparing with others, you have to do. Oh, we can sit for 3 hours steadily. I can't even sit for half an hour. We have been practicing for the same period. You might have started from some other point, he might have started from some other point. That's the reason, simple as that. But that you so don't compare. Sankalpa prabhavan kaman stekvan dharvana sheshada manasaivedriya gramam viniyamya samandada shanai shanai ruparame buddhya gridigridaya atmasanstam manakritva nadinjida vijindayet yado yado nischaradi manaschandalamastiram tadastado niyameta datmanyeva vachanayet. Now when we practice only, we will know the practical implications of these things and how they change our life. Every day, every time, every hour, in every situation. But unless we practice merely by listening also, some energy is going inside that you can experience. Your mind is not what it was when you had come into this world. But this has to continue, the practice has to continue so that it is even more effective. So, when all the desires are given up, given up, and the manasarkan indriyani, mind is also a sense organ. It is a master sense organ, without which any other sense organ cannot function. So, I have not put it together. So, mana and all the indriyas, they are together. So they have to be controlled. They have to be taken. We have to take control of our mind and senses. And be even-minded, peaceful. Slowly rise your consciousness. You can see it here, you can see it at the back also through the chakras. But where the mental states are a better practice than the other one. The chakra. So see that you rise through the mental level. The navel is one level. Below that first level, second level. This is the third level, which is called Surya chakra. Heart is the same as Surya chakra. And then you go to the neck, then here, and then in the third level. Like that you slowly rise. Shanai Shanai Uparame. Buddhyaditi Gita, very patiently, interact, be very patient while monitoring this rise of consciousness. Atma Samstha Manakritva. And when the mind of this consciousness goes beyond, it becomes a formless consciousness, not having any content, does not contain any mental and memories and other things, activities and other things. When the consciousness is purely consciousness, like in deep sleep, you do it with awareness switched on. That is all. You do the same process that you use for going into sleep. When the awareness is switched on, that is all. That is the difference. So, you do it. Do not think of anything. When then the Vijjan, the coming down happens, so you should be very careful to maintain a very steady balance. So, intellect should be very keenly observing and very vigilant also to maintain the state which has been achieved. Do not come down. Do not yield an inch, Swami used to say, to the mental conversion. Yado yado nischarati manaschanchalamasstiram tadastado miyayame tad atmanyeva vasam nayet. So if the mind starts moving, then just guide it, come back, give auto-suggestion. Auto-suggestion is very effective. If you tell your mind that you should be this, it may not immediately yield, but after some 5, 10, 15 minutes, give it some time, you will see that mind is responding to your suggestion. So auto-suggestion is a method which should be employed in life. And it changes situations also, you will see. The same person who was not favorable will be very favorable if you change your mindset. Auto-suggestion. So, tadastato niyayameta atmanyeva vachamne. Bring it to the same level from where it has come down by auto-suggestion. Prashanta manasam yenam yoginam sukhamuttamam uvaiti shantarajasam brahmabhudam akalmasham yunjannevam sadatmanam yogi vigatakalmasha sukhena brahmasamsparsham atyantam sukhamajnute sarvabhudastamatmanam sarvabhudani tatmani ikshate yogayuktatma sarvatra samadarsanam. So, he is very peaceful, mind is very peaceful, and he is enjoying this, and his Rajoguna, which creates all this disturbance, Karmana, Madama, Buddha, creates desire, agitated mind, hyperactivity. All these are because of Rajoguna. Sattva, Raja, Tama, these gunas are there. Tamoguna induces inactivity and sick, and opposite type of what one could not do, they are doing now. At that way. So, such. And Rajoguna is Karmana, Asamatra, hyperactivity and great desire, attachment, and all these are there. So, it will overcome the Rajoguna and Brahma, Buddha, Mahalmakam. They will, all the stains of sin. See, mind once does an action, there is a impression on mind. And it will tend to repeat that action in the same situation. So that is a sin. And if it is bad action, hurtful or harmful to others, or prohibited by Dharma Shastra, then it is a sin. So that sinful actions are stains, impressions are much more powerful because they are negative. So they will try to pull you down, but here all these are eliminated by meditation. That is the purpose of meditational practice, that things are eliminated. Impressions are also eliminated and they become Brahma. Brahma is Brahma Eva Bhavati. So we know Brahman becomes Brahma. I will not explain much because that is not the purpose of meditational practice. That is, now we have, Arjuna will ask one question, that is the interesting part. So, without any sinful feelings, they are enjoying that bliss. And those who see themselves in everything, Atma-uparamena sarvatra samam pachyati yo Arjuna. That has been said before also. Here the Lord is saying, Sarvabhudastamatmanam sarvabhudani tatmani ikshate yoga yukthatma sarvatra. they are equal vision they are having. So this equal vision, it enables them to see themselves in everything and everything in themselves. So the Karma Yogi have this even vision, equal vision towards everything. Samadarshana. That's a very wonderful state to be in. Very high state to be in. Everybody should aspire for that. Yomam Vashyati Sarva. And the devotional minded people, those who had come up through the devotional path and doing meditation, they can do this. Yomam Vashyati Sarvatra Sarvam Cha Mahi Vashyati Sasyaham Na Pranashyami Satame Na Pranasyati. They see me in everything and everything in me also. They will not lose me and I will not lose them also. They will be always in my focus and love, and they will also love me always. Sarva Bhutastidam Yomam Vajatyekastvamastida Sarvada Vartamanomi Sayogi Mai Vartade. They may go to any corner of the world. Sarvada Vartamanomi Same Mai Vartade. Doing anything also, they are in me only. Their activities are also in me, because they see themselves in me. I am in everything, but those who worship me at one place, sitting at one place, they may do anything later, but they are in me only. Their movement and activity, everything is in myself only. They are so, they have dissolved themselves into the Lord. Naham Karta, Hari Karta. All the activities are done by the Lord. Atmaupamyena sarvatra samam pashyati Arjuna sukham vayati vadukham sayogi paramomada. They are selfless in their practice right from the beginning. So, in the end, after attaining the highest level also, they are not insensitive to the pains of others. So they see the pain of others and happiness of others as their own happiness and pain. They, like one would work to eliminate their pain and attain happiness, they would work for eliminating the pain and relieving the pain and giving happiness to others. That is the highest level of yogi's life. Arjuna asked, now a reality check by Arjuna. He is an icon of that era. But he is a great warrior. But what does he say? Yoyam yoga svaya prokta samyena madhusudana edasyaham navashyami dandalatva sthitinstira dandalam hi mana krishna pramadhi balavadradam tasyaham nigraham manye vayori vasudushkaram. Now what does Arjuna say? Arjuna says, he is a worthy world hero. He is an icon, great icon. He is a brave warrior. On him the entire Pandava's destiny, victory, everything depends. Still, what does he say about self-control? He says, this equal-mindedness which we are saying by practice and karma yoga selflessness, I cannot think that I can attain that. Why? Because mind is very fickle and also very strong. When it desires things, it goes in the opposite direction of what we are saying. So, controlling the mind and suppressing it, I think it is like controlling wind. How can somebody control wind? It is not in the capacity of a human being to control the wind. Similarly, it is working in inverter. Okay. So, Arjuna says this. Now that is a question from our side. The moment we sit for meditation, mind starts thinking of other things, going in the opposite direction. So very strong. It can be controlled, we think, because we have never looked for anything beyond mind. Even intellect, we are subjecting it to mind. It is not the other way. Intellect is not controlling the mind. Viveka is not having a control over the thought. It is the thoughts which are having a control over actions and intellect. So that's way it happens. Krishna says, yes, yes. Every time when you answer somebody who is in an agitated state, agree with her. Asamshayam mahabaho mano durnigraham dhalam abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagena cha grishyate. Amnandika, you have said the right thing. What you are saying is correct. Mano durnigraham dhalam, mind is very difficult to control and it is very unstable, fickle. It runs around like anything, restless. Abhyasena, but by right practices and rejecting unnecessary things. That is a very good practice. Rejecting and don't allow the mind to get into unnecessary thoughts and things, desires and other things. What is extremely necessary, go for that only. We can't waste our time and energy in unnecessary things. It's a natural thing. It's an intelligent thing. So, by vairagya, rejecting the unnecessary things also, it can be controlled. Asanyadatmana yogo dukraba iti me mati vasyatmana tu yadada shakyo vaptum upayata. If you have the right methods to control, it can be controlled, but if you don't attempt at all, then it cannot be controlled. Just by saying be calm, it will not be calm. Vashyatmanatu yadada shakyo vaptum upayata. If you give it the right practices, training, then the mind can be controlled. Mind can be controlled, that is a big thing. Krishna is saying, people don't know about this. How many people can do it, then they don't even know that mind can be controlled. And when they don't know the methods and right level of knowledge, a critical level of knowledge is also necessary to be yogi, isn't it? For anything, if you want to be a technician, you should have a critical level of knowledge about that field, isn't it? Unless that you have that knowledge, you can't become even a technician, or a doctor, or a lawyer, or somebody, anybody. So, that critical level of knowledge is necessary in shastras and practices, and guidance is necessary in yoga also. What is wrong with it? No. For yoga, all this is not applicable. For learning some other things, all these are applicable. No. Guidance, critical level of knowledge, and learning, everything, practice, everything is necessary. Then Arjuna asks a Adhyatmika question. What is that question? Ayadi Shraddhayo Vedo Yoga Charita Manasa Aprapya Yoga Sansiddhim Kagadim Krishna Gacchati Kachinno Vaya Viprata Chinnamra Vivanashyati Apradishto Mahabaho Vimudo Brahmana Padhi Edanme Samshayam Krishna Chetumargasya Cheshada Todanya Samshayasya Cheta Samshayasya Chetana Yuvapadyade. One is very sincerely doing yoga practices, but in the end they lose their concentration. So what will be their, after death, what course their soul will take? And here also, will they not be lost? Because they do not attempt to attain anything in this world. And there also, later life also, they are not attain. Afterlife also, they cannot attain anything. Because they have deviated from the Brahmana path. And this doubt you have to clear. Then nobody else is there. Nobody else can tell about the divine thing. Not more than 10 minutes. Nobody else is there. But nowadays it is clear, isn't it? Even in the corporate world they say, if you don't meditate, you will not be fit for our job. So it is very clear. But at that time also Krishna says, all the Rajarshis and Brahmanshis, great icons at that time, they were all doing all these practices. But now it has come into public domain also. Parthanaiveghana mutra vinashastasya vidyade nahi kalyana kritkasthit buddhadim tada gacchati. No, they will not be lost neither here nor there in the afterlife. Prapya punya kritam lokam Shritva chachati tamam Shrutinam srimadam ge yoga prashto vijayate. In the material world, Rajashris and all these examples have been explained before. So Krishna directly goes to the afterlife and they will attain the world, higher worlds, which are available only to the very pious one. And then, staying there very peacefully for a long time, they will come back and they will be born in the houses of very high ethical and also rich people. They will not suffer. Adhava yoginameva kule bhavati dhimadam edaddhi durlabhadaram loke janmayati drisham. This is a very, very rare birth that they will be born in lineages of yogis also. So that is a very, all of us in India are born in the lineage of some yogi. Gotra Rishi is there. We are not aware about that these days, but all of us are born in that lineage. So we are lucky actually. We are not aware of that rare luck. So this is a very, very rare life. Tattradam buddhi sanyogam lepare paurvadehikam yatade chakato bhuya samsiddhau kulanandana purvabhyasena tenaiva vidyate eva jyotisam jit saha jitnyasuraviyogasya shabda brahmadi vartade. Now, because of the previous practices and the punya karma gained by that, he will naturally move towards yoga practices from the life itself. Jadavarta was born as a Hiran because he was attached to a small deer at the end of his life. Then he was born as a deer and then in the next life he did not pass. He did not feel attached to anybody because he knew that any attachment will lead me to the Janma Marana Chakra. So he was very inner from the society and everything. So, but the previous karma phala, punya, karma, they will be naturally move towards that. The previous practices will help them and pull them towards yoga practices. Even those who are curious about yoga practices, why is this Swami sitting here? Why are we not sitting here? Why am I not sitting there and talking to people? Even if this curiosity is there, then that will help you in progressing in the yoga path. Prayatnavyatamana guru yogi samyuddha kilpita aneka janma samsiddha tatoyadi parangati. By this constant practice and attempts and efforts, in many births, the yogi will attain the highest level, highest path traveled by the big rishis and yogis, sages. Sabastipyatigo yogi, jnanibhyo vimadodika, dharmibhyaschadigo yogi, tasma yogi bhavajuna. Now you also be a yogi. You are a straight-minded person, straightforward person, Arjuna, straightforward person. So you can also say yogi. And this yogi is greater than those who do finances. Yogi is even greater than those who study shastras. Yogi is greater than those who do good actions but do not know about the yoga aspect of their actions. So that yogi is greater than all these people. Yoginam avisarvesham abhadena naratmana Shraddhavan vajate yomam vane yuktadamo mada. Among all the yogis, those who have a devotional bent of mind and always concentrate on the Supreme Lord, they are the best. So they will attain both. Means they will attain yoga also and they will attain the moksha also. So they are the best. They are following the best practices of yoga. And this is the 6th chapter Atma Sanyama Yoga in Bhagavad Gita. So, Hari Om Tat Sat. Anyway, there is rain, you can't go. So, any question?
Swamiji, can you please elaborate about the Hiranyagarbha? Hiranyagarbha you have mentioned. I couldn't understand.
Hiranyagarbha is Bhagavan.
Okay. Okay.
But Hiranyagarbha is a different level, where all the designs that are there in the Srishti are conceived. All the designs are conceived, and according to that ideas in the Hiranyagarbha, the nature produces the energy level. Matter and energy are necessary